Hello, I would like to welcome you to the Spec, the weekly portion about the Parasha, weekly minutes about the Parasha. And here, the chapter that is reading from the second book is Vayera, and in that we're going to see how much importance have the communication. Okay, Moses was 80 years old when he's Aaron. At that time, he was 83. And in that time, they have to talk with the Pharaoh, right? So Pharaoh was the first. When you're talking like with the king, with the prime minister, right, at the time, so even higher, right, because Pharaoh was thinking about himself, that he was the son that created everything, right? So when we having here in the Torah, but it says Moshe uben 80 shana ve'Aaron ben shalosh u'shmonim shana u'devaram el Paro. Okay, so this is where we know where they were at this age, and they want to talk to the Pharaoh. So what is important, that why we have to know the age of these people, right? When they are going to talk to Pharaoh, why it is having an importance. It is not all the time that we know the ages of these tzaddikim, right? So we have to like count with different things. Okay, when he gets married, when he was, when they were buried, and etc. Okay, so it is very special, unique that it's mentioned that the age at a certain time that they're going to do something. And also, secondary, we know that they were already talking with Pharaoh. So why we have to repeat it that time that they're going to talk to Pharaoh? This wasn't the first time. Okay, so we know previously, ונהם דברים אל פרעה מלך מצרים והוציא את בני ישראל מצרים והוא משה ואהרון. So these are that spoke with Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to bring out the children out of Egypt. They are that Moses and Aaron, right? So we know already that they were talking to the Pharaoh because they wanted to tell him that the Jews have to leave Egypt. Okay. So here is that we are going to talk about a letter that is called pay. Okay, pay, it's mouse, pe. Okay, the value of pay is 80. Okay, so when the Torah says that Moses was 80 years old, okay, it is not only mentioned that was his age. Okay, that he wanted to tell us that he's going to be the pe, the mouth of Pharaoh. Because through that, the God going to communicate with Pharaoh through Moses. So that sounds very good, but when other side, we know that Moses has an inability to talk. Okay, and Rambam said, the Maimonides, that his disability to talk, and he gets recovered on Mount Sinai. So that was becoming after. So how he had this wrong speech? How something happened when he was 2 years old, when he was in the house of Pharaoh Moses, and many times he was sitting in his lap. Okay, when one time he took the crown out of the head of Pharaoh, and he put it in his own. Okay, like children do, like playing around with things that they aren't supposed to do. So that sounds very particular to Pharaoh. Okay, and they're asking that his counselors that this boy could be a Jewish boy, basically. And some people said yes, some people said no. So it was an argument at that time, and then he had to pick. Okay, whenever he said, okay, if you're going to be a Jewish boy or not, then let's see what he's choosing. One side he put the gold, the other is put the a very hot stuff. Okay, that's going to be the proof. If it's going to be a Jewish boy, he definitely is going to choose the gold and not something that is very dangerous. Okay, and that time Moses was firstly going for the gold stuff, and then came Gabriel, the angel Gabriel, and then he hit his hand in order that he has to pick the other very hot stuff that he have to grasp it. Okay, and when he was born, and by that time in his hands, and then he put it in his mouth to uh, uh, to lower his pain, and probably he was burning his mouth too. Okay, so by that time he then out of that claim that he is supposed to be a Jewish boy at that point. Mhm. And later on, right, he's coming back to save the Jews. Okay, this is his life story. Um, so therefore, instead of Moses, Aaron was talking. They were coming together to be the mouth of God at that time, uh, and therefore it is related with a pay and 80, the age of theirs. Okay, so okay, so pay Aleph, we would be writing this letter. Um, and if we would be writing this letter pay Aleph, we should write, and altogether the counting of it's going to be 81. And there is a rule in Gematria uh, that if we will be adding out of it more too, uh, um, if we having if we having a two-letter word, if we adding number two of it, then in this case we arrive from 81 to 83. Okay, so the pair of God, it's like Aaron, Moses. So then in that number we arrive also to 83 at the uh, age of Aaron. Yeah. So, and in other terms, when we are also, it's very related to the communication, and we're talking about Paro, we were writing in Hebrew, Peresh Ayin Hey. Okay, altogether, it is Pei was 80, Resh 200, Ayin 70, and Hey is 5. 355, and then if we subtract the ages of Moses and Aaron, then we have 192. That is also equal to the word kibbutz galuyot. It's meaning together, right? So that was the duty of Moses to gather people, right, and take out. Um, and in other terms, paro, meaning pera, it's the bad mouth. Uh, and the duty of Moses and Aaron was to transform the bad mouth into Pesach, to talking mouth, right? And this is all what we are doing in Passover. So it's not that we are going to talk about Pera. Pharaoh was talking and praising himself, right? This is the doing for yourself alone. But no, you have to do it for something greater, for the Creator. You have to mention about the redemption of Egypt. So it is very important to watch out what we are saying. And because basically communication, it is only given to the medaber, to the human, to us, and therefore it's raised us among all the different kingdoms, like inanimate, living, and animate kingdom, right? So we are above of all these. Um, okay, so we have to watch out what we are talking. And if we are talking like very badly, then if we are then better not to say anything. Okay, so there are moments that we have to be silent. Okay, and that was for today, and see you next week. Thank you.